Here I am at William Street, at the William Street level crossing. And as you can see, beside the railway here is a vastly wide corridor. I'd say over 20 metres wide between the track and the street. And don't forget, when you build, you can also acquire some of the street to make your easement wider. What we've also got over this side is a vast piece of vacant land which could be used to ramp the road up over the railway track. This ramp could also go over this street here for better neighbourhood connectivity. So all the way up to that truck is basically vacant, would enable the road bridge to be built there. Now this block of land here, which is currently for sale, this is where the road bridge could be built, and using self-propelled modular transports just lifted over the railway line in a weekend shutdown. Now I'll proceed over to the other side so we can have a look. I'm pretty sure between the railway and the next intersection, in what I would call the ramping up zone, the only thing in the way is this service station, which could be accommodated in the new construction. What we can see to what would be the northwest of the service station is just a huge block of land that could easily accommodate one of the ramps for this road bridge. These apartments on the other side of the road, they don't have any driveways that lead out onto this road either, so that wouldn't be an impediment for building this ramp. But a service lane could easily be included there. We've got a vacant block there, an old house, and then some kind of derelict building there. So two of those things are for sale, so easily acquired by the government. So this level crossing, as you can see, there's basically no barriers to this being done as a road over rail with ramps going up. Here we are at Gerard Street, I believe. Now what you can see here is that ramping up to go over both parallel streets and the railway only requires a ramp up length of about 110 metres, and at all three of the locations there is enough vacant land on both sides of the track available for that to happen. Bit of a greenfields construction site, but there's no reason that with retaining walls that this couldn't be done on a much tighter spot. And as we're about to see, trains are moving through there unimpeded. By tightening up the road and the bike path here, getting them a lot closer to the track, we could accommodate a much shorter bridge, which would be less impactful on the surrounding neighbourhood. What you can also see from this location is just how wide the corridor is. You've got a 2-lane street there, and then all this car parking, service road, bike path, then a few metres to the track, and then the track, and then pretty much the equivalent on the other side. How the government is saying that they cannot do these works while the trains are running because there's no room, that is just ludicrous. You could build 10 railway tracks in this easement and still keep the trains running. All right, here we are at the Wharf Street level crossing. The vacant block that is here and will remain here for some time is obviously privately owned, and there's no reason this development couldn't be postponed and perhaps acquired by the government before it gets built. As you can see, the next development up there is quite a way away, which would allow enough room for a ramp to be built to get a bridge over this railway line at this location. Over on the other side of the tracks there is some kind of Buddhist association. As you can see, on the other side of the road there is just a park, a car park, and the Cannington Leisureplex. So no vehicle access is required from that side, so there's no real barrier to a ramp being built that side. On this side there's a few driveways that come in off the street there. There's ample room there for a slip lane, so those properties can access that location. This side here, for the time being, there is time to basically build the bridge here on this vacant block, use self-propelled modular transports to shuffle the bridge in there. That could be done in a weekend. No shutdown of the line required. Here I am at the Hamilton Street level crossing. As you can see, either side of Hamilton Street, vast tracts of vacant land. Nothing that would stop a ramp up road over rail bridge from getting built. You can also see that it's not a particularly busy level crossing, but what makes this level crossing dangerous is the fact that it has a parallel road with traffic lights there. So that can result in vehicles with incompetent drivers getting stuck on the level crossing if they don't know the rules. Another thing you can see from here is just how vast the corridor is for this railway. We've got enough land for probably 6 lanes of traffic on this side and a similar amount on the other side, plus the land that's fenced off for the railway. That's probably about 30 metres wide. So this idea that there's no room is just a complete furphy. So I'll just march up and have a look around these vacant blocks. You got a huge vacant block on that side. Oh, got a train going past. And I think we're going to have about 10 cars inconvenienced by that. So when we're talking about spending $1 billion on something, we've got to see if it's a value for money equation. And that's why this project failed on the cost benefit analysis. So this vacant block is also another location where the bridge could be built off to the side and just rolled in with SPMTs. All right, I think this house is still lived in, but it is far enough back from the intersection that it wouldn't interfere with the ramping up structure. And then on the other side of that is yet more vacant blocks. And perhaps if they didn't want to sell for the project, there's another house on that side that could be acquired for the project. So this idea that we have to shut down the rail and build over the top of it because there's no room is a complete furphy.